What's good, guys? It's Lord Punk here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about a game that's got aliens, guns, skateboards, and probably some kind of sentient sandwich that screams when you eat it. Yep, High on Life 2 is officially real, and it's somehow even weirder than the first one. From surprise reveals to sentient shotguns and psychedelic cities, I've been digging through trailers, developer interviews, Xbox Wire posts, you name it, and I've pulled together everything you need to know about High on Life 2 from its release window to new gameplay mechanics, and yes, we're talking about those new talking guns and that wild new skateboard system. So hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's dive headfirst into the chaos that is High on Life 2, because trust me, you're not ready for this. High on Life exploded onto the FPS scene in late 2022 like a Technicolor alien gun explosion, equal parts absurd, loud, clever, and messy. Developed by Squanch Games and born from the weird interdimensional brain of Rick and Morty's Justin Roiland, it quickly made a name for itself with its talking guns, irreverent humor, and unapologetic chaos. Now, it wasn't for everyone. Some players bounced off the non-stop chatter and clunky shooting, but others latched onto its absurdity like a parasite with a monologue. Now, in 2025, with Roland no longer attached to the project, Squanch is back with High on Life 2. And from what we've seen so far, it looks like they've doubled down on the madness, this time with skateboards. Yeah, skateboards. If the first game felt like a Saturday morning cartoon possessed by a 3 a.m. Adult Swim fever dream, the sequel cranks that up with neon grind rails, fire-breathing lizards, and dual-wielded fish guns that look like they might insult your mother mid-fight. The reveal trailer at the June Xbox Game Showcase was pure chaos, in the best way possible. It kicks off with aliens on a couch popping human antidepressants. Yep, you heard that right. Then hurls us into a roller coaster of psychedelic action as our protagonist tears through a city on a hoverboard skateboard while blasting enemies to bits with a new lineup of bizarre weapons. So far, Squanch is keeping story details mostly under wraps, but here's what we know. The game takes place after the events of the first, where humanity was nearly farmed into extinction. You're back as the bounty hunter, but now the tables have turned. Someone's put a price on your sister's head. That's the spark for another planet-hopping, bounty-chasing odyssey filled with conspiracy, violence, and talking guns that never shut up. If the first game was about humanity being commodified, the sequel leans harder into that theme with the pharmaceutical megacorp trying to slap a price tag on life itself. From a gameplay standpoint, it's clear Squanch took notes from both the criticisms and the cult adoration the first game attracted. The returning guns, Knifey, Sweezy, Creature, and Gus are joined by new ones like a precision rifle, a bow, and those grotesque dual fish pistols. Each one is more unhinged than the last, with voice lines that promise to ride to the final line between hilarious and exhausting. The combat itself looks sharper, faster, and way more vertical this time around, especially with the addition of the skateboard. Think Sunset Overdrive meets Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, then throw in a bad acid trip and some cynical one-liners. The movement is where High on Life 2 could really surprise people. The first game's platforming and traversal were janky but had potential. With the skateboard now being a central mechanic, the game flow might feel more kinetic, more stylish. The trailer shows the bounty hunter kickflipping alien cops in the face and grinding rails through environments that look like a Dolly painting with a Fortnite filter. It's over the top in the best way. If it feels as fun to play as it looks, Squanch might have nailed something special here. And yes, it's coming to Xbox Game Pass again. The first High on Life was Game Pass's biggest third-party launch at the time, so Microsoft's betting on another big splash. It's launching exclusively on Xbox Series X and S and PC, at first at least. There's no word yet on PlayStation or Switch 2 versions, but if history repeats itself, we'll probably see ports roll out later. That said, there's no release date set in stone. Right now, all we've got is the classic coming winter 2025 line, which feels like Squanch's way of giving themselves breathing room after the first game slipped from October to December. Don't be surprised if this one lands right around the holidays. One of the most talked about aspects of the sequel isn't in the gameplay or visuals, it's who's not involved. Justin Roiland, the controversial co-creator of Rick and Morty and the original voice behind the main character Kenny, is out. After allegations of domestic abuse and disturbing behavior, many of which were later dropped or unproven, Roiland was cut from Squanch projects, including the High on Life DLC, where Kenny was quietly written out. His absence from High on Life 2 is likely permanent, and while that leaves a major creative gap, it also gives the remaining team a chance to prove themselves beyond Roiland's signature voice work. Interestingly, the developers are leaning into this as an opportunity. Without Roiland's presence, the sequel might be more focused. The tone is still crude and chaotic, but there's a chance for more coherent storytelling, or at least jokes that don't lean entirely on shock value. That being said, High on Life 2 is still a Squanch Games project. Expect gross-out humor, existential dread, and enough self-aware commentary to make Deadpool jealous. Visually, the game looks improved too. The environments pop with color, from grimy alien slums to lush alien jungles. There's a visual polish here that fully wasn't present in the original. Characters move more fluidly, lighting looks richer, and effects like fire and plasma have a real punch. That kind of visual upgrade is expected in a current-gen exclusive. but it's still reassuring to see the game evolving from its predecessor in more ways than just its gun count. Another thing fans will be watching is how High on Life 2 handles progression. The first game had a Metrovania-like upgrades, get a new gadget, unlock a new area, but it often felt a little bit shallow. This time, the devs are promising deeper weapon customization, new bounty systems, and a world that reacts more to your actions. You'll be building up your alien arsenal, unlocking perks, and supposedly choosing how to approach missions, whether that means skating in guns blazing or sneaking through a facility with silent kills and well-timed distractions. The structure also seems more open-ended. The first game funneled players to a pretty linear sequence of bounties. In the sequel, there are hints that you'll be able to track targets in different orders or approach them in different ways. That added freedom could help the game feel more replayable, and less like a one-and-done acid trip. All in all, High on Life 2 feels like a game that's doubling down on its strengths while trying to iron out its rough spots. It's still ridiculous, it's still abrasive, and yeah, the guns still talk, but it also looks more confident, more stylish, and maybe even more fun. Whether you love the first game or found it unbearable, there's no denying that Squanch Gaming is aiming for higher with this one. We'll have to wait until the winter of 2025 to find out if it sticks the landing, but for now, High on Life 2 is shaping up to be one of the weirdest, wildest shooters of the year. Get ready to grind, blast, and wisecrack your way through the galaxy one bounty at a time, whether you want to or not. And that's everything we know so far about High on Life 2. Alien skateboarding? Check. Talking guns? Obviously. Intergalactic pharmaceutical nightmares? Oh, you bet. Whether you love the first game or just tolerate it for the memes, the sequel is shaping up to be a wild ride through one of the weirdest corners of the galaxy. So are you hopping back into the bounty life? Which new guns are you most hyped for to hear scream at you mid-fight? And does the skateboard make this a legit Game of the Year contender or just pure chaos? Drop your comments down below. I want to hear it all. Smash that like button if you guys enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe so you don't miss any updates, and as always, stay loud, stay weird, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I've been Lord Punk. See you guys next time.